On this episode of DPV, we're lifting Mama's Highlander. So my wife's daily driver is a 2019 Toyota Highlander all-wheel drive. And basically it is a minivan, an all-wheel drive minivan with rear doors. What we're going to do today is we're going to be putting on a 2-inch lift kit and getting a little bit more aggressive all-terrain tires. We're going to go up about that big. One of the limiting factors on a Highlander's tire size is this strut design. As you can see, the spring plate for the strut overhangs over into the tire. So this is all the bigger tire you can go without running interference into your strut. I'm sure somebody makes a different strut, but you'd have to relocate it or run really offset wide out tires. These are the tools I used. It doesn't take very much. You could get away with not using the impacts. You could do this all with hand tools. But what you're going to need is a breaker bar. I needed a pry bar, torque wrench, a couple end wrenches, a 14, 15, 17, 19, 22, and the same in sockets. I needed a pair of vice grips, channel locks, crescent wrench, persuasion tool, and a pry bar of some sort. I did end up using a ratchet strap to help with alignment and a jack stand. The kit I'm installing today is a Taco Engineering 2-inch front, 1.5-inch rear. Comes with all new grade 8 hardware. Comes with coil bucket spacers for the front and then just a spring spacer for the rear. I've read through the instructions a little bit. There's a couple funny things we got to do. To start off, it comes with these instructions that are pictures aren't the greatest in the instructions, but if you follow along in this video, I'll be able to show better than what the pictures are in the video. So it does have a thing here to put in your measurements to see your actual gain. And so we're going to do that, and then I'm also going to do the gain not just with the lift kit, but once I add tires as well, which should be later this afternoon. The fuel tank is about 8 inches of ground clearance right now, and the very front is 10.5. We got about 32.5 to 33 inches to the top of my fender line. That's just an easy spot to measure off of to see our actual real world gains on this 1.5, 2-inch lift kit. You would think you would start here, but no, we got to start with the windshield wipers. This front cowl piece has to come off, and the only way to do that is to pull the wipers. So yes, step 1 of lifting your Highlander, remove your wiper blades. When removing your wiper arms, you always want to mark the orientation so that when you put your arms back on, you get them at the right spot. I used this little notch that's already in the arm and then just made a Sharpie mark on top of the wiper shaft. Figured out these Toyota pins. Let's see if you can see this. If you hold down the top of the pin and just push from the bottom, it'll pull the center section up, and then those pins come out. All right, now this just, oh yeah, this just pops out. So the reason we did that, now this is kind of nice. You can easily access all of the hardware necessary. Got the rig jacked up, threw a jack stand underneath it, pulled the tire off. While you're in here, good idea to check for brakes. And these look pretty good. I do plan on doing an upgrade to these eventually, but that's for a later time. What we got to do first is get rid of your ABS wiring. So this just unclips here, a 12 millimeter socket head. Pull the retaining bolt out, get this line out of the way, and all you have to do is kind of just get it loosened and out of the way, because what we're trying to do is pull this off. So we got to pull this link and then pull these two off. I'm going to use my impact for these and this. And let's see, is this the same size as the lug nuts? Of course not. 22 millimeter socket on the impact, pulled those off. You could do that by hand, you wouldn't need an impact. Pair of vice grips on the backside, impact, had to go in and out a few times to get it to come out all the way. I think if I would have thrown a little lube on that, probably would have been better. Probably do that on the other side. So got these loose. I need to pull the 3 bolts at the top. Okay. On these, there is one nut that is different. You need to pay attention when you're taking this apart. I'll see if I can get one off of here. The other 2 are the standard flared nuts. The one closest to the fender on both sides is like an extended washer flare nut, but so just remember that that one goes closest to the fender. I don't remember how you got that out of there. So I went down in between the, right behind the A-arm, there's a little pocket there to drop that down in. That's like the easiest spot to drop that down in. So we got our spacer here. You're gonna take the hardware that came with the spacer and put that on the bottom here. Sure, there's a torque spec on this, but I can't get my torque wrench in on that. Why is it called a torque wrench when it's a ratchet? You know what I mean? That seems kind of weird, huh? You're gonna use a 15mm end wrench to tighten these down. So these are the hardware that came installed on those studs, but you're gonna use those on your factory, so you can reuse your factory hardware up top. The assembly is the exact opposite of disassembly. The only little bit more difficult thing is that you are 2 inches taller here, and so it's a little bit more cumbersome getting it in and out up into the pocket, but I feel pretty confident we'll drop that into, oh, I say that, and then there we go. Looks good. Throw the tire on. Oh, I need to tighten the top. This one on the outside, close to the fender, has like the extra thick washer on the flange nut. This is the different one, 40 pounds on that. And now, throw the tire on and switch to the other side. All right. One more thing I forgot to do on the front is this sway bar extender. It's just a little piece of plate that drops the, lowers the sway bar mount. So what we're gonna do is, just like before, vice grips on the backside, impact, bring it out, drop this in. It comes with the hardware, and we'll throw it in. There we go. Oh, this way. I don't love that. Would I love it better if that was shortened that many inches? Yes. Like with every lift kit, don't forget to reinstall your wiper blades. And chop it into place. All right, onto the rears. This lift kit's pretty easy to install. It is about the biggest lift kit you can, I think it's like the only size available to put on the Highlanders. And if I was building an off-road vehicle, this isn't a platform I'd start with, but it's Mama's grocery getter, but we want to make it just a little bit more capable for off-road. So that's why we went with this kit. It's a super budget kit. It just isolates the rear shocks down further. So you don't gain any suspension travel. All you do is basically just a bump lift. So on the rear, we need to pull this bolt. Okay. Oh, sway bar. I was like, there must be something else I have to pull. Yeah, it's definitely a sway bar. Oh. Let's lower this down. Perfect. This rolls out of the way. This pushes down. Out. This spacer sits down in here. It's the same width as this bracket, so it can't turn, and basically just locates the whole 1.5 inches up from the previous location. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bolt these two together and then bolt this to the vehicle, because it's hard to tighten this when the A-arm, or when the lower A-arm-ish is in the way. All right, got that tied up. They sure do give you enough bolt for sure. This bracket, the humps go towards the spring pocket, so it goes in there in this orientation. So that's ready to go in. I'm gonna put this back, just leave it sitting behind the A-arm. So you're gonna pull off the isolator, and that's gonna go up against, there's a recessed lip that sits inside, and that's gonna sit there. And then this is gonna go, I don't know if you can see that, gonna go all the way up in the pocket like that. So on the other side, I found, pull the isolator off, put it on this spacer, put the whole assembly on top of the spring. You'll see there's like a indentation to where the spring was sitting. I just kind of put it back in that same spot. And you can turn it and feel where it goes. Now, the instructions have you loosen a whole bunch of other stuff to get this to be easier. I found it to be not that difficult with a pry bar and my foot. I was able to do the passenger side, so let's see if we can get the driver's side as well. I think that this is just gonna be easier than loosening a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, what? No, pop on me. There we go. Pop it! New plan. Zip tied the upper assembly together so it doesn't fall apart. Yep, I've already seen this a bit better. There we go. Should have just went and got zip ties from the beginning, because that was way easier. So I zip tied the top pieces, and then I used my tire spoon to get the bottom to seat in. Now I'm gonna cut these zip ties. The sway arm is dropped into place, so we put these. Start these two nuts. My favorite aligning tool, ratchet strap. There we go. Like a glove. Get you in here to see this. I'd like to replace this with a longer shock, and I probably will here coming up, but I want to get these tires on and I haven't ordered the new shocks. So what we have is a shock relocation bracket. This bracket, we're going to compress the shock. Take the hardware off of and then this just goes on. There is this like weird inner fender liner, and you want to make sure that your hardware or your bracket and everything get behind that. There we go. Use your factory hardware on the factory studs to put this bracket in. Bracket. Pop it out from behind. Yeah, definitely going to be in the future replacing these rears with maybe a Bilstein or something. Don't know, whatever I can find. Just something that's an inch longer so we get a little bit more travel out of the shock and we can get away from this funky bracket. Her's got little legs. Next day I'm at the local Les Schwab picking up the Highlander. They got new tires on it. Let's see how this thing looks. Ooh, look aggressive. Open range all-terrains. Yeah. All right, well, we're gonna get this thing, we're gonna go for a little drive. Sweet. Sweet. Thank you, Les Schwab. All right. Drove about 40-ish miles around, let everything settle. Man, it looks a lot more aggressive. All right, so let's take another measurement or two. See where we're at. So these are my gains. My rear went from 31.5 to 34. The front went from 32.5 to 35.25. My fuel tank, I got an additional 2 3/4 of an inch in fuel tank clearance, and the front did really well for some reason. I must have mismeasured probably where I was at, but that came up about 3 inches. So overall, the kit installed fairly easy, pretty straightforward. I was able to even save a couple steps on the rear. These open range all-terrain 65,000 mile warranty tire from Les Schwab. See how those run. We might do another update here in about 30,000 miles and see how we're holding up. Is this the vehicle I would pick to choose to start with as an overlander? No, but this is the vehicle I had, and I just wanted to make it just a little bit more capable, being an all-wheel drive vehicle, and I think that's what this kit achieves. Gives me a little bit bigger room for some oversized tires, and I went a little bit more aggressive tires with a stronger sidewall, and I didn't really need a lift to get to where I was going, but the lift got me bigger tires, and the bigger tires get me more traction and better selection on what I could get for my all-terrain tires. So there you have it. Remember, you can always buy our merch in the links down below. Hopefully we'll be doing another video or two on this Highlander. I plan on adding a roof rack and trying to get back some of the MPGs that I'm losing, but the bigger tires with doing cold air intake or maybe some exhaust. So look forward to those ones, and we'll wreck it, rinse it, repeat. Until next time, see ya.